Cancer, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carol, and if you're new to my channel, I want to welcome you. We are about 6 months old, so it's a very young channel, so I'm glad you found me. And if you're coming back for another reading, I want to thank you, and especially if you've subscribed to my channel. So we're going to be doing a mid-month check-in for you today, Cancer, and we're going to start off by looking at what pattern is showing up in your life right now for healing. Now, often I ask for a struggle or, a decision you have to make, but I'm really going to focus this time on a pattern. And sometimes, when patterns show up in our life, we tend to kind of deny them. We kind of say, maybe this has happened again, and it's happening again, but we kind of don't really want to look at it. But when patterns start to show up in our life, that is what we really need to look at, especially when it comes to shadow work, which is number 2. So in number 2, we're going to be looking at what aspect of your shadow is driving this particular pattern. So if you're not familiar with shadow work or shadow, those two terms, I'm going to leave you a video that I've done in my description box, and it's called My Powerful 4-Step Guide to Shadow Work. And what it is a compilation of what I've done for my own intensive healing journey that I've been on for the past 7 years with a life coach. And this is, a lot of these ideas and videos that I've linked to this video are what I've done for my own shadow work, and everything's free in it. So there's not going to be anything where I'm going to ask you to go and click on somewhere to pay for something. So it's all free. And I think that if you're interested in those two terms, shadow work, that it really is a good start for you. And if you've been on this journey and you know what shadow work is, I think it would still be beneficial for you to see it. And so that's what we're going to do, because your shadow aspect of yourself, and that's what lives in our unconscious, that is what drives, believe it or not, 95% of what we're thinking and all our decisions and all our behaviors and all these patterns that keep showing up in our life. The other 5% of, of the human brain, and that is really what's in our conscious mind, what we think, we're aware of, it's only 5%. And so it's really important that we get to know what's in our shadow so we can heal it. And this is what this channel is all about. And finally, in the third part of the reading, we're going to ask for some advice from the tarot, and we're going to ask for how you can begin, Cancer, to start to heal this pattern that you're sitting with. So let's start off with the Rider-Waite deck, and I'm going to pull 3 cards from that, and then we'll go into the Tarot of the Abyss, which is a good deck to just really take a deep dive into what's coming up from your shadow, especially for number 2. So let's start off with what pattern is showing up in your life. So can I have 1 card for Cancer for what pattern is showing up in Cancer's life that needs healing? I think about 10 cards wanted to come out there. Oh, the 10 of Wands in reverse. The 10 of Wands in reverse. I'm now going to look at what aspect from your shadow is driving this pattern, this 10 of Wands here. 1 card, please, from the tarot. The Queen of Cups in reverse. And finally, what advice from the tarot? What advice can you give me, tarot, for this pattern that's showing up in Cancer's life right now? Oh, too many cards here. There we go. The Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune. All right. Okay, so now to the Tarot of the Abyss, where I'm going to ask for some clarifiers. Couple clarifiers for each of these cards. So Cancer, I hope you're doing well. This will be my last reading for you for June, and then I'll see you in July. All right, so the Ten of Wands. Can I have some clarifiers for this tarot, this Ten of Wands? We have the Knight of Pentacles. One more card, please, for this Ten of Wands here. The Fool card in reverse. The Queen of Cups, please. Some clarification for this Queen of Cups. You have the Seven of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles. And I think I'm going to put the Nine of Pentacles first, just the way that it came out. Nine of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups. The Wheel of Fortune, please. Clarification for this card. Oh, I got these. There we go. They're black and white, so it's hard to tell which way is facing up. Clarification for this Wheel of Fortune. Oh, this one's a stubborn. Oh, there we go. The Three of Swords. And one more card. Oh, that one wanted to come out. The Ten of Wands. All right, again in reverse. So that's very interesting. That's happened often, where you see it in the beginning and then it comes out in the end for guidance. So we'll see how this works out. I'm going to, let me see. I'm going to use the mini tarot weight here. Actually, let me see if I think I'm going to try this one. Here we go. I just bought this, the Light Seers Tarot. I have the big set, but I wanted to try out the, yeah, I've already definitely shuffled them. So I want to try out the small set, see if they shuffle just a bit better. I found that the big set is kind of sticking together. And so I just wanted to see if this is going to work. So I'll use this as clarifier. All right, so let's begin, Cancer, with what pattern's showing up in your life right now. I'll end it with an oracle card, the spirit animal deck here, if I remember. Okay. Okay, so Cancer, you're sitting with the Ten of Wands in reverse. And this is the pattern that's showing up for you right now. And the Ten of Wands speaks of a cycle, which is interesting because we're talking about a pattern here that's repeating. So maybe this is a pattern and you've seen it before and it's kind of wrapping up right now. The Ten of Wands is, let's talk about the Wands first of all. The Wands is really, going towards your purpose, putting you first, going towards something that you want to do, being very creative for yourself. And that means, something different that you've never done before. And that's how I see the Wands. And the 10 is like, you've been wanting to do something and it's been a real struggle for you. And so I think you're going through another period where you've been wanting to take your life in a new direction. You've been feeling like you want to put yourself first. And it's just been a battle. Sometimes Wands can do with, people not supporting you along your way, along your healing journey. Not, and it can be a real struggle sometimes if you're not feeling supported around you. So I'm seeing here that, you've had enough again. Like it's just been, you've been through a lot, but it's in reverse, which tells me that you haven't given up. Because sometimes when you're almost like you're ready to give up. You've had enough. You're done. And it's been really hard, but it's in reverse, which tells me that, you're not ready to give up on this. And maybe it's a dream. You're not ready to give up on this dream that you have, and it keeps coming around, and you're wanting to do it, and you're struggling, and you're trying to make your way towards it, but you just can't seem to get going with it. Because I'm seeing here that there's a real freedom underneath this. And this is the Knight of Pentacles. In my deck, the Knights represent what I call my freedom fighters. And so those are the parts of us that will really struggle and really fight for your freedom to be authentic, to be you. Because this really expresses this desire to put you first, and to go towards what it is you want to go towards. And the Knight coming up here kind of just reinforces that freedom of wanting to do this. Maybe you have a health struggle going on, because Pentacles has to do with your health. And so maybe it's something to do with your health, and where you're wanting this freedom from your health, this situation that you're sitting in, where it just keeps on coming up and it prevents you from taking your life in a new direction. It could have something to do with your wealth, with finances. Maybe there's something with your finances that is just, the same struggle where you're struggling financially and you can't seem to make it work or make ends meet. And so this card's coming up saying, you really want this freedom from this issue that's preventing you from finally doing what you want to do. And the Fool comes out here. And the Fool card comes out not often in my deck, but when it comes out, it's almost like in an upright position. Right now it's in reverse, but in an upright position, this individual is, just willing to walk, and it almost like they're not even afraid to fall off that cliff, because they know that the universe has their back. And I think here, because it's in reverse, this tells me that, it's time to go. It's time to do what it is that you've been dreaming of doing, that you've been wanting to do, this creative thing for yourself, putting yourself first. And the universe is saying it's time to go. It's time. It's almost like the universe wants to kind of just give you that nudge, give you that push. But there's some real fear. There's some real fear here I'm seeing here. And because there's a real resistance for you to taking that final step, and it's time. Like I said, there's some fear here. I'm going to pull one card here from the Light Seer's deck, just to get just a card for clarification here, to see why there's this hesitancy. I'm calling it fear. And the Three of Cups came in, and along with the Emperor card. Well, that's interesting. The Three of Cups is really, the three is a time of celebration. It's a time of really looking back and seeing how far you've come and the work that you've put forward. But it's in reverse here. So once again, like I said, there's this real hesitancy to even celebrate how far you've come. The Emperor comes up in reverse here. So the Emperor card talks about these laws and these rules of society that the Emperor makes, right? He's sitting here on his chair feeling quite comfortable here, because he set these rules out and he knows these people are going to follow him. There are these like imaginary rules out there that we follow. We don't even know why sometimes. And they're in reverse here. So that's really stopping you. So there's something here. The Emperor, there are these imaginary rules that have been put in place when you were a child, when you were growing up, from the universe, from society. Let's say society. And society said, oh, not allowed to do this. I wouldn't do this, And that's why there's this fear on your part, because I think there's a tendency here on your part to still believe these sets of rules that you were taught when you were younger, Maybe you shouldn't take risks. Oh, maybe you shouldn't do that. Maybe it's not time. And so I'm seeing here that whenever this pattern of yours is that whenever you're just ready to go, you get these doubts and you get these fears in your system right here. So that's the pattern that's showing up for you. So what's coming up from your shadow that really is driving these doubts, these fears, these emperor rules, the societal rules that says you can't do this? What's coming up from your shadow that's driving this behavior every time you're ready to go? The Queen of Cups comes in, and the Queen of Cups is, she's in reverse. So in an upright position, the Queen represents the feminine aspect to us. Every single one of us on this planet has a feminine aspect and a masculine aspect. It has nothing to do with gender. It has everything to do with these feminine qualities. And the cups represent our emotions. And you see a lot of water flowing around the Queen's feet because emotions are meant to flow in and they're meant to flow out. And when they get stuck in us, that's what's really going to drive a lot of these patterns that show up if we have these stuck emotions in us. She's in reverse right now, and that means these emotions that are stuck in you, when the Queen becomes in reverse, she can feel quite hopeless and depressed. And even some anger can come in there. And so these are the emotions that are stuck here. And so I'm thinking that maybe there was something when you were, and we'll dig into it once we get to these two cards below it. I'm thinking that when you were younger, there was something maybe that you were prevented from doing. It could be the same thing here that you're wanting to do right now. But there was a time when you were younger when you were told, can't do it, right? Society, the Emperor has come in here. And so that's when we start to learn things we can do or cannot do. And I want you to think of yourself as an adolescent, because the Knight of Pentacles is very much an adolescent part of us. I want you to think of an adolescent that wants to do something and they're told no. Well, right away they just, anger and they feel hopeless. And this is the same thing with this Queen here. So there's some emotions here that are stuck in you that are related to when you were younger, when you were told that you couldn't do something. And so there's this hopelessness. Sometimes there could be some low self-esteem, because I'm seeing here that you did have the Knight of Pentacles, and then the Pentacle talks also about our self-worth, because it's related to the body. And so there could be some self-worth here. So let's take a look. Let's clarify what this Queen of Cups is really referring to. We get some more pentacles here. The Nine of Pentacles has this woman here with this bird in her hand, holding it here and looking at these flowers and how beautiful everything is. This is really a card of just having, a real abundance here, and just, becoming very still and enjoying what you have. And so I think that because it's in your shadow, this tells me that there was a situation here where, there was a period of your life, a period of your time when, you did enjoy, and you enjoyed the simple things. You enjoyed the simple things, and you enjoyed getting still. And usually that's a lot when you're younger, and just appreciating things around you. And think of little kids that enjoyed birds, enjoyed animals. And then the Seven of Cups comes right beside it here, and the Seven of Cups is again, an introduction to these emotions, the Seven of Cups. But this card is really interesting because we see her head in the clouds, very almost like I'm going to say like sort of like a dissociation or a real ungroundedness here. Because I like to say that there's a period of chaos in your life where a lot was going on, lots of distractions here. So it's interesting here because you go from this period of your life that was calm and still for a child, and then another period where you entered into a period where it became not so calm. So I'm wondering if there's something in your childhood where that you can relate to, where there's something that maybe happened to you when you were younger that kind of moved you from a period of calmness until something happened. For example, sometimes, our parents could split up. Things were good. And then there was a split in the family. And that would have, really caused some real, caused you to start to go live back up in your head and get kind of dissociated and have all these emotions, because when that happens to us, we don't know what to do with our emotions. And so we go up in our head, and all these emotions that are sitting in our body, they kind of get stuck. And this is what this Queen of Cups told me, that you have some emotions that are stuck. And so I'm wondering if there's some hopelessness, like I said, some hopelessness or some anger that's stuck here. I'm going to pull one more card here just to get some clarification on this Seven of Cups here. And maybe that will tell me a little bit about, what emotion you're dealing with here, what emotions are dealing with that are stuck for you. Something to clarify. I'll try one more time. There it is. It's trying to come out. It was stuck. Oh, the Fool card comes out here. The Fool again. This time it's upright. And so that explains a bit. So remember we talked about the Fool. It's like there's something we want to do. We were so on the edge of doing something. And yeah, I think that because of what happened, it didn't get to the Fool, like it didn't get the chance. The innocence. The Fool is all about your innocence, right? Having the innocence of a child. Trusting that things are going to be okay. There it is. I finally got to it. You're not trusting. You don't trust that what it is that you want to do is going to be okay. You're not trusting that the universe is going to have your back if you do this. And so when you were younger, the same incident, a similar situation happened, and now you have this lack of trust that things are going to be okay if you decide to do this. And this is where this fear is coming up, right? You just don't trust, and you're having a hard time trusting that it's going to all work out. And this is where, the Fool comes in again, because the Fool wants us to trust. But it looks like you've lost your trust because of something that happened when you were younger. And that's what's holding you back. And it's a general reading, so you're going to know. And so what's the advice from the tarot here to help to begin to heal this pattern where, you're ready to take off, and then you just kind of, it sounds to me like you might freeze, because this is where your emotions get stuck and you just don't trust and you're afraid. So how can we heal this? Well, the Wheel of Fortune, the universe wants this wheel of life to turn. Things are supposed to turn. Like, things happen when we were younger, and as an adult, this is where we're asked to start to heal these things so that the wheel can start to turn again. Like, it's not supposed to get stuck, but sometimes it does. When these things, where this trust somehow was taken away from you, and you don't trust anymore, or something happened to you, the wheel kind of stops. And life doesn't stop, but inside of us it feels like things stop when our emotions get stuck. And so it's just going to keep coming up. And this is another reminder that this is going to keep coming up and keep coming up. This lack of trust that you have in the universe or someone that's going to have your back. The Three of Swords comes up. And the Three of Swords talks about our pain. It talks about these three swords down here. This pain when you were younger, you know, it really pierced your heart. Whatever happened to you in your shadow here, that really put you up in the clouds. These emotions that got stuck in your body. And the Queen here talks about these, like I said, these emotions that are meant to flow in and flow out of us. They're not meant to get stuck. There's been a lot of pain. There's a lot of pain here that you need to heal. You need to heal the pain from that. The Ten of Wands is in reverse, right? So same thing over here. This is the pattern. This is the pattern that you're feeling. The universe wants you to turn this upright. The universe wants you to turn this upright and start to, you know, take these logs out, these heavy logs on your back that you've been carrying for so long. And the universe wants you to start to heal, but like one log at a time, right? Start the process of healing here. I'm going to pull you one more card. And that's going to help us with the Ten of Wands. Since we've had it twice here, I wouldn't mind getting a little bit of clarification on one more card here for Cancer, for healing. Time to heal this trust so we can get this, this healing. Oh, there it is. Took a while to come out, but it came out. Ten of Cups, yeah. Right now, so the Ten of Cups talks to us. Like I said, Cups is all about emotions. The Cups mean we're supposed to experience that full range. It's number 10 in the Cups, so it's the full range of emotions that we're supposed to experience, right? We're not supposed to get stuck on them, like stuck on our depression or stuck on our anger. We have to feel that pain from when we were younger, because right now we're not feeling all the emotions, and the universe wants you to feel all those emotions that are coming in and coming out. But in order for you to take your life where you want to go, you need to start healing some of this pain that's sitting in your shadow that has to do with whatever it is that prevented you from trusting, not quite trusting for you to go forward in what you want to do for yourself. So what I'm going to leave you with, I'm going to leave you with the June 2024 monthly reading that I did for you, Cancer. And then I'm also going to leave you with how to process your emotions. Because I think that this is what the universe wants you to do, the tarot wants you to do, is to start to process some of these emotions, that really powerful emotions like trust that that are sitting in your shadow right now. So I'm going to pull a spirit animal card for you right now from the spirit animal deck. In this particular, you have a couple of them here that's come up for some reason. And you have the chameleon, act as if. And you also have trust in the magic. So very interesting. I'm talking about act as if. Sometimes when, I've had to do this a few times. Sometimes when we're really, really stuck and we want that wheel of fortune to turn. Sometimes it's really important sometimes just to act as if that you're trusting sometimes, especially if you are having a lot of fear around it. I'm going to read for you what it says for number 14, act as if. Chameleon Spirit shares her gift with you today to prepare you for changes that will greatly benefit you. Outer conditions are changing, and you're required to come into harmony with them so you can co-create your greatest dream. You feeling sensitive? Good, because that will come in handy, enabling you to determine how best to adapt to your environment and the people in it, while at the same time maintaining your integrity and inner equilibrium. Life is offering you a great lesson right now. Adapting isn't about losing yourself. It's about learning how to dance with others. And trust in the magic is the white raven spirit. And it's very interesting that I talked about trust throughout this whole reading, and it came up for you in the spirit animal. So what does it have to say for you? It says, nothing in the universe is random, for the intricate web of co-creation weaves together all events and has done so since the beginning of time. Coincidences have meaning, and the white raven spirit appears to remind you to pay attention to these synchronicities so that you might recognize patterns. Even the winds dance in a pattern, participating in the magic of Spirit's plan for all. The universe is conspiring on your behalf right now, drawing you to the light and bringing you to the magic and miracles that are your birthright. Now is the time to trust in the magic of the world that is everywhere and in all things. Pay attention to how things come together as if by magic, and you will see the hand of Great Spirit arranging things in your favor. What a beautiful spirit animal card. It definitely wants the Wheel of Fortune to get turning for you, because I think here that if you learn to trust, if you're going to be learning to trust and trust that this wheel will turn for you, work on trusting yourself. Work on processing your emotions that are coming up, that are preventing you from going forward. So take care, Cancer, and I'll talk to you next month. Bye-bye.